All right, here we are, another cataloging video. Stick around a couple minutes here, hang loose, wait to see if anybody shows up before I start rolling through books. I'll throw up the first book so everybody can see it. Well, so I can see it since I'm the only one here. Amazes me what some of these later issue Shazam books are actually worth. If it were just one issue sooner, it'd be worth a lot more. Number 29. Whoa. That's heavy. Weird War Tales. These are definitely interesting books. I think I've got another one in here. He's jumping back and forth. Maybe I don't. Maybe the other ones I found were all duplicates. All right. GI War. Not sure why I got this one. I know why. There's only 4 issues in the series, and I've got issue 1. So now I just need 2 and 3. Or 2 and 4. GI Combat 174. What grade are we going to give that one? Our fighting forces. A little bit older one. '28. There's one to look up. once in a while, my price guide gets really crazy on stuff. And I think it's because there's some sort of a typo or a glitch when it does a price update. For instance, this book here jumped in, let's see here, 2019, it had a $14 value. For some odd reason, 2020, it jumped to $530. So and we know sometimes that can happen with books, but I don't see any reason why it would happen with this book. And there's always a chance maybe it was, maybe they wanted to jump it to 30 and that 5 accidentally got put in, or maybe it was supposed to jump to 53. But the nice thing about this software is when you find something like this, if you think is an error, you can notify them straight through the software and say, hey, I think you're fucked in the head on this price. And they will investigate and then modify. And I've had them modify more than one book that I've found to be in error. So basically, you tell them you request a price check. You tell them what you think the book is worth, and then you tell them why. And usually, a good rule is if you can find comp sales on eBay. That's a good reference point. And there's very few that have actually sold. Most of them seem like people are asking $25, $30, $40 for the issue in decent shape. Without sales. So here's one that looks like it's probably a 2.0 that sold for $3, which means a near mint is probably around 20 or 25. All right. So then I can change the price. And then let them hopefully modify it. Daredevil 109. Star Spangled War Stories. Unknown Soldier is a pretty cool character. It's when I find these issues cheap enough, even if I already have a copy, I'll pick it up for the duplicates. Yeah. $192. $198. $201. There's one I don't have. Giant size Conan number 2. Yeah, we'll put that in. The Conan binder. I'm sorry, the Conan box. I didn't need that one, so I don't know why I got it. Other than it potentially could be a better copy than the one I have. It always cracks me up when people, I don't know what sort of, I think they just wrap it in cellophane. I don't. No, it's actually a cellophane type bag of some sort. So I don't know if that, I don't know what it was, whether it was a legit comic bag back in the day or what, something that was repurposed, maybe a magazine size bag. But you see a lot of them, at least I do. Issue 13, Enemy Ace story. Issue 18. Yeah, I got some scuffs on that one. All Disney's comics and stories. The nice thing about these, some of these reprints, the Whitman reprints, they start putting the issue numbers on them again. So, and these were printed with, I only picked up the white logos because they're a little rarer. The Whitman white logo versus the yellow logo. Hey, Digger Jim. Thanks for popping in. Just talking to myself as usual as a catalog. I figure if there's nobody else listening and I tell myself, then maybe I'll remember it the next time. Didn't miss much so far, just some a few war books, Weird War Tales, Our Army at War, stuff like that. Not many. 498. White logo. 499 white logo. Banana Split. That would be a gold key of some sort, right? Late 60s. Hey, Jason. Hey, hit me up if you need any of those Valiant chase cards I found, because 98% of them are duplicates for me. I don't know how many of those you need for sets, or if you just bought complete sets and said hell with it. You know, here I was telling myself before you guys came in about these Walt Disney comics and stories, and actually it's about a lot of the Whitman reprints. Towards the end of the run, they did some white logo and some yellow logo, and generally the yellow logo were just individual sales, and the white logos were usually one sold in 3-packs. And so the white logo usually has a little bit of a premium over top of the yellow. So this issue 501 apparently was not done in a 3-pack. It was a single only. Don't know if anybody likes Submariner or not, but I picked up a ton of them. I don't know why. If I can get the damn thing open. I think this one is hermetically sealed. There you go. These are all books I've picked up from the LCS from their $3 back bins. It's like it's a sickness. I got to go through them. I've already got them picked clean of all the Dell 4 color, so I've got to find something else I don't need in it, like Submariner issues. But they are all decently graded. I figure they were all worth $3. And if he actually makes a movie, I'll have no problem making some money off of him. Plus, there's some cool ass covers. They really are. I mean, going back to the Gold Age books, that's on my list, is to get a nice Gold Age. You skip 63, of course. Nice Golden Age Submariner cover. I mean, some of these with the press could actually pass for near mint. I mean, they're pretty damn good. First appearance of Maddox. First appearance of Virago. The Submariner series had a lot of first appearance as I looked through them. First appearance of Piranha. Let's see if this has a value stamp in it. I try and pay attention to those Marvel stamps. I mean, it's only a $15 book, but not really worth anything without the stamp then. There we go, Marvel value stamp. The Puppet Master. Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly too. 20-cent, 15-cent, 10-cent books for $3. First appearance of Lorvex. Now that's a reprint of number 39 from volume 1. I think most of them could pass for VF pretty easy. As I see that I get one that's a little rougher. Reprint of issue 41 from the first series. Second appearance of Dragon Lord. Yeah, it sure does on that one. Issue 52. First appearance of Dragon Lord. Duplicate. I actually already have a copy of this one. Another box somewhere. Second appearance of Sunfire. And there's a value stamp in this one. Let's see what this one is. Phew, excuse me. I do not see a value stamp. I wonder if that was... I don't think there is a value stamp in this one. I think they're mistaken. Because there's definitely nothing cut out. And I don't see anything. But you can get any 3 stereo LPs or any one tape shown for just a penny. This is pre-Columbia House, the Record Club of America. Yep, I'm not seeing a stamp on that one. So that was 52, first appearance of Dragon Lord. Hey, Kyle. $46. Death of Leonard Mackenzie, and the second appearance of Stingray. Most of these Submariner books are really, I don't know if they're, I don't want to say undervalued, but they don't carry a lot of value. I can't really call them undervalued, but they're not that expensive. Issue 63, first appearance of Arcus, first appearance of Volpan. I actually found enough of these that I might do something stupid like try and put a run together. Uh-oh. We got Spidey in the house. I'm going to be here at least this much longer. So, sure, hop on if you want, Kyle. Your LCS had them for like a average of $5. In higher grade, or were they all low grade, Jim? He said the majority of these are going to be VFs, I'd say, with only a couple of them dropping down to a VG, and I don't think any of them would be as low as a good. Low to mid, yeah. Yeah, I would have expected these to be $3 to $5 in the 2.0 to 4.0 range. But even so, very few of them book over $20 in mint, at least according to my price guide. So again, they're just not that valuable yet. They will be. Marvel has to counter Aquaman somehow. Issue 68, first appearance of Force, Clayton Wilson. First appearance of Dr. Henry Croft, and first appearance of Dr. Joseph Jennings. And they're just shoving a first appearance in like every issue. Sounds like something DC would do with a modern age Batman book. Yeah, yeah, that would be nice. Got to do something to make Fantastic Four relevant again. Oh, look, there's that red cover that pops. Actually, that's a different red cover that pops, isn't it? What was the other one? They like using that same border. Oh, here's a little better book anyways. First appearance of Prince Marrow. Second appearance of Namorita. Oh, let me see if I got any more of those before I switch to a different title.
Hey, hey.
Hey, Kyle.
This will be what I'm opening up.
Comic Impression. Is that a mystery box?
No, it's that big scout order that I did from
Oh,
Scout.
okay. Yep. There we go. I knew I had more of them in here.
I agree with Submariner. Those are severely undervalued books.
Yeah. Yep. First appearance of Ramen. First appearance of Dr. Damon Walters. First appearance of Clayton Wilson.
Cool.
Oh. It has to be a telemarketer.
Fair enough.
Or a renter, one of the two. Number I do not recognize, and it's not from this area code. So, issue number 55. First appearance of Torg. Again, it's like almost every single issue of the first appearance of somebody.
Yeah, seriously. You're comparing it to the Tinian Batman run.
Yeah. So now we know where he got his idea from.
Yep.
And number 56. First appearance of Coral and first appearance of Tamara Ron. That one's kind of dirty, so we'll have to drop that one down. Let me know when you're ready. I'll let you go full screen so you can open.
Sounds good. I'm just making a mess in my room with all these packaging peanuts.
Are those the cornstarch ones that you can eat?
I don't want to try.
They look like they are. Just take a little bite. It'll melt your mouth.
I'm gonna do it because. Oh yeah, definitely.
It's cornstarch.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So, and you didn't hear this from me, but if you take those and put them in a big jar, let's go bigger, like a big tub.
Yeah.
And mix certain chemicals with them.
Okay.
I won't tell you what chemicals, though. You may or may not have a napalm-like substance.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep the chemical list not here.
Water. You mix it with water.
Really? Holy
Mix
crap.
it with water. Trust me.
All right. Well, cool science.
Yes.
I freaking love science. Yeah, these are
Marvel.
totally cornstarch.
Yeah, they started doing that I can remember at least 20 years ago.
Okay.
Environmentally friendly packing peanuts.
Yeah, instead of like styrofoam. So.
Yes.
Okay, so where are we? Iron Man, Daredevil.
Yeah, Marvel Superheroes, issue 30. Daredevil 15, Strange Tales 108, Tales of Suspense 77, and 78. Must be reprinting all of them. It was worth $3.
That's
Beckerman.
Really cool. Hey, Becker. Lincoln's Merry Melodies.
Are you saying you never saw this book before, Jim? Marvel Superheroes. It was from 67 to 85. Wow, I didn't realize it ran that long. 105 issues. Pop's Attic.
I just learned that is Mark's dad. I learned that last night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but though sometimes I think it's Mark Incognito.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to put a Looney Tunes run together, but when I find these wartime books,
yeah,
like this is from September of 46, and it was $3.
that's nuts.
I mean, yeah, it's not in the best shape, but it's. Oh, of the Marvel superheroes. Yeah, so a lot of the early ones did have some new material in them. I think they reprinted maybe one issue and then put one issue of new content in. And then some of them were just full reprints.
Of the Foreign Legion. Holy crap. Is that sorry, who's in the top left? Is that the actual Oh, there you go. Captain Gallant.
I keep finding these in this. There's your membership certificate.
Okay.
But yeah, I keep finding these in this last batch of books they brought into the LCS, and
Pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, and it's actually
What is that? It's Italy? Is that the Italy flag? The blue, white, and no, it's not. It needs to be green. What's the blue,
France.
white, France? Okay.
The French, remember the French Foreign Legion?
Yeah.
Because didn't one of the, I don't know, one of the Looney Tunes character was always joining the French Foreign Legion or running away to the French Foreign Legion. Or maybe that's the Three Stooges. I can't remember.
What was it?
But this is actually, you know, I don't want to say an expensive book, but it's from 1950. This is actually a giveaway from Heinz,
Oh wow.
and it talks about 57 varieties.
Baked beans, chili corn, chicken noodle soup with rice. Interesting. Okay. Did you figure out the year? You said 1950. ...
They stopped giving it away in 55.
Okay,
So it's 55 or older.
got it.
But this one, and I don't know how to date them. I know there's several different copies. Some of them have like ads for Heinz, like
Okay.
throughout the book. And for as far as I can see, this one only has the back page. So I don't know if this is newer, older, whatever. But OG Legion member. Pops, are you saying you were a member of the Legion?
He was a legionary if he was.
World Around Us, that's an interesting title.
Wow.
Gilberton,
25%.
the
Yeah.
same company that did like all the illustrated, Classics Illustrated.
Okay.
And they did Illustrated Story of Dogs was the first issue they did, 1958. And this is issue 35, which is the next to last issue. 36 was the last issue in 1961. So this one was on spies. The one before it was on fishing. The one after it was on the story of medicine. So, it goes along with kind of that educational aspect of that Gilberton was pushing.
Got it.
There's one on whales that was pretty interesting. Then, like the Classics Illustrated, a lot of them had second printings and maybe even third printings on some of them. Not horrendously valuable or anything, just pretty neat.
Did they switch up the artists or the writers at all, or just the storylines and the plot lines?
That I'd have to actually do some research on. Some of them, they switched them up for sure. I see issue 36 had Jack Kirby art.
Oh, cool.
Issue 35 right now is uncredited artwork. You see if it mentions anything.
Okay.
Inside, editor, lots of editors, copy editors, art director, art assistant, European editor, production director. But doesn't specifically give any credit to any artists. So much stuff back then was work for hire. So they didn't get any credit for it.
Gotcha. Are these bagged and boarded? Can't even tell. Oh, these aren't. They're just raw issues.
The Jaguar. Adventures of the Jaguar.
I'm skidding. Help. Fools.
Oh, issue 14 from 63.
Okay.
And issue 15 was the last issue. There's 2 of them I'm missing off by 1.
Bags of boards.
John Rosenberger, artwork throughout. Complete run of the Jaguar. That's pretty cool. Those first issues are kind of tough to get, especially in good shape. I think after maybe issue 6 or 7 or 8 is when they start to tail off a little bit. But the Fly. I have let's see here. Where's my Fly? Adventures of the Fly. So you're talking the Archie series from the 50s and 60s? Yep, I've got issue. I don't have a catalog for some reason, but I know I've got one of these early issues. I didn't realize there were that many issues in that series, 31. Which one do I have? I've got issue. Nope. That one. I've got issue 27 with the Fly Girl backup story. It's in one of my boxes somewhere that I haven't cataloged yet. I did come across some 4-color comics that I somehow missed in these boxes. Actually, I had some help. There was a guy looking through the boxes at the same time. We started bullshitting, and I told him what I was looking for. And then he just started randomly pulling out old Dell books he found.
Oh, heck yeah. So he was helping you go through everything?
Yeah.
Nice.
But he couldn't explain to me what he was looking for, so I really couldn't help him. But he was looking at things and then cross-referencing Key Collector. So
okay, so it looks like they bagged and boarded 2 of the books, and the rest of them are just floating around in this bag. Oh, cool. And they have price tags on them. Okay, so I'll have to rebag them.
So how many books were in that?
13. So
13.
Not that much. So this is White Ash. It's the story that I was talking about gnomes and elves. And I really like it. It's actually the book that's behind me, the blue one. It's the first story, and this is her daughter. But it's just a cool fantasy story. I mean, I'm definitely into fantasy stuff. I have no clue what this is. Girion. Oops, a little glary. Girrion. And this is their New York Comic Con exclusive. Oh, and then I picked up some ash cans. So I got Rabbit World ash can. I picked up, I think, 3 or 4 ash cans. And these are super thin. It's like 6 pages. Like the board itself is heavier than the actual book.
Yeah. But they're comic book size, right?
Yes. They're not
Yes.
no, they're
not
not comic books. They're not the tinier. Yeah, I know what you're saying. They're
Yeah.
different proportions. So Snow White Zombie Apocalypse.
That sounds interesting.
It's exactly how it sounds too. Like they're full aware, and they play on the fact that it's like that. And then the rest of these are just floating around in here raw. I think I got it upside down. Rabid World number 4. Because my shop did not get number 4 for some reason, and the only one they had was the one, or somebody like picked up all the number 4s, and I was unable to get one. This is a book that I missed out on. It was Unicorn from Scoop. Geez, that glare's killer there.
Do you have any notion why the number 4s disappeared?
They just didn't buy enough, and the people that liked the series, because I think Rabid World got optioned, so people scooped up all the copies. It's like when anything gets optioned, which I think is so stupid. Everybody goes and picks up as many copies as they can, irregardless to whether they like the story or not. It's just FOMO at its worst. And then this is a variant cover for White Ash. It's basically about a mining town, and they run into some issues when a vampire shows up, and they basically have to. The main character is a dwarf, and the other main character is an elf. This is Stake number 1. This is the web store exclusive. And that's just, Scout has web store exclusives and then retailer incentives and then ash cans. That's all they do. Maybe on some series they have multiple covers, like this one in particular, Stake. So this is the incentive cover for Stake. Got about 7 more. Long Live Pro Wrestling. This is issue 0. So what would issue 0 be?
Hey, Joe. Issue 0 is usually an origin issue.
Okay.
Sometimes it's an afterthought issue. Like they'll put out however many, a handful of issues, and then they'll put out an issue 0 later.
Okay.
And then some series actually start with a 0.
Okay.
So, marketing gimmick sometimes.
Quentin Darward? I've never heard. That's just another Dell comic, right?
A Dell 4-color. Yeah. He sought
cool.
a lady's safety and saved a king his throne. It's an MGM picture photographed in CinemaScope and Eastman color.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So obviously it was an old movie. Starring Robert Taylor, Kay Kendall, and Robert Morley.
2 Roberts on the title.
Sir Walter Scott's The Adventure of Quentin Durwood.
Cool. It looked cool. It caught my attention.
I've never heard of it. As many old movies as I've seen. Joe probably went to the premiere.
Of the MGM.
So how was that premiere, Joe?
Classic. Quentin Darward. This is my favorite series, By the Horns. I finally picked up the web store. I would have picked it up
that's the kick-ass cover there.
Yeah, and like I would have picked it up from the actual artist, but he was sold out of them. So I had to get it from Scout Direct. I believe I have another By the Horns. It should be, the ash can for By the Horns. Let's switch that way. Okay, this was a fun book, and I've been
now let's not get carried away with that, Pops.
Oh yeah. Let's. We're not going back to that. That's fine. This was a cool one shot. If other people can learn how to do a one shot, read Mullet Cop and then make your own.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that one, or seeing you talk about that one somewhere else before.
Yeah, and it's simply like one of the best one-shot comics that I've read. Like there's another one-shot comic that came out today or this week, and it was a 50-50 book where you get halfway through the story and then you flip it around and read it from the back cover forward. And it wasn't like that cohesive a storytelling, but oh, here we go. This might be a little. I'm gonna put my hand in there. This is
Uh-oh.
Glarian. This is
This-
it's not that graphic, but
This isn't Burke's channel. So.
okay. Then yeah, her hair is
Oh,
covering.
oh my God! You actually covered that up.
It was out of consideration for your channel. So
All right, Pops, avert your eyes.
this is
We'll tell you when it's safe to look again.
this is White Ash's mother, named Glarian. Or not she's the mother of the character in White Ash. White Ash is the name of the city.
What was the name of that book again?
Glarian. This is a one-shot strictly about her origin story. And her origin story is super freaking awesome.
Now, wasn't one of the first books you showed, didn't have a similar name?
Yes.
But spelled differently?
Yes. That was the first. That was one of the
first or second book you showed.
Yeah, so Glarian, Glarion, and then Girion, Girrion.
Girion, all right.
Yeah,
Girion.
that's very perceptive. Very perceptive. All right, and then 2 more books. One of them is a sketch cover.
Pop says, "Show me more."
There we go.
Dirty old man. Now we know where Mark gets it from. He gets it honest.
So this is Atlantis wasn't built for tourists. And it's the I picked it up because of the title. Just because the innuendo of like you can't go and like have a tour guide of Atlantis, but it's actually about a town called Atlantis. And it's very Stillwater-esque. If you've read Stillwater, I get a lot of Stillwater vibes from this comic book. And then last one, We Don't Kill Spiders, a sketch cover. I'm going to draw spiders all
You
over
may
it.
not kill spiders, but I sure the fuck do.
I take them outside.
I take them outside and beat their fucking asses. That's just because I don't want spider guts all over the floor of the house.
Fair enough. Very fair. And then the last thing that I went to my LCS to pick up. Are you familiar with the Studio Ghibli
Nope.
titles? Their animes? Well,
Nope.
For all the anime fans out here, this is the guide to all the Studio Ghibli titles.
All 3 of them, you mean?
There are about 10. And they're like, if you want to get into any kind of anime, start with Studio Ghibli. So yeah, that's all I have. While you keep showing, I'm gonna put the comics that they shipped to me raw in some bags and boards, and
that
else you have going.
Yeah, I'm getting down to the bare nubs.
6, 7, 8. Perfect. 9, 10, 11, 12.
Only
12
bought
books.
these because the guy kept tossing me these Dell books. They're actually
Absolutely.
Walt Disney books I didn't have.
I didn't even know these things existed. I'm a big, well, I'd say I was a big Disney fan, but I love the old Disney stuff.
Yeah, you can still find these cheap
Okay.
majority of the time and in decent shape.
Nice.
Again, these are all in the $3 bin.
My LCS doesn't really have a impressive back issue.
All spiders must die. Yes, agree.
There we go.
So Digger Jim's talking to you now.
Kyle, I am picking up the comic you recommended, You Promised Me Comics, when I go to Baltimore. Yeah, heck yeah, Digger Jim. So the book that he's talking about is he went and he picked up their exclusive cover for Unborn. It's a story about the last white rhino, and it's if you've ever played the video game Last of Us,
Nope.
it is a very similar premise in that this one person, but in the book, it's this one rhino has the ability to cure all diseases. And there's a person who is protecting the rhino, and that person has a disease that needs to be cured. So he's at like does he kill the rhino? Like he can help so many people, but then the rhinos will be no more. So it's kind of a environmental perspective book. And yeah, one of our community members, Sparks Comics, who is now You Promised Me Comics, did their first exclusive, and I just wanted to support them, so I picked up their book. And it's actually the only exclusive for that title, by the way.
And yes, I agree. Pops, Old Dell are awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because when you're showing off stuff, everybody's like interested in the, I guess like more of the Marvel and the DC stuff. But every time you pull out something Disney, I go, "Ooh, what's that?"
Well, that's it. I seldom pull out anything old. It's Marvel or DC. I mean, this is the stuff I like to pull out.
Yeah, you're flexing that one. What was it?
On
first appearance of Peanuts. Jeez, sorry, I was trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, first Peanuts, first Charles Schultz.
Awesome. And I that cover's hilarious. Well, why don't you just hold this picture frame so that we don't have to buy a frame later?
Yeah, but I mean, for Sluggo to have a video camera back then, that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
In 1952.
Yeah, he must have been extremely wealthy.
Yeah, I've been looking for that book for a long time. There's another one that's tied with it for first appearance. Actually, United 21 came out same month. So I got to find a copy of it. Generally, it's not as expensive, but I'll know when I find it and buy it how expensive it is. Like to find another raw one like that, not have to pay for a graded one.
When you look for, like, let's say that you're trying to complete a run, will you purchase something that's graded to complete the run?
I haven't got that deep into a run yet, but
okay.
I mean, it depends. When I get like these Dell 4-color, I got a feeling when I get towards the end, I'm not going to have much choice.
Okay.
Because there's going to be specific books I need or specifically expensive books. Like
Absolutely.
there's several 5-figure books in the run.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking low 5-figure. We're talking 10,000, 11,000.
Okay, but still.
Right. That 2.0 graded are going for $2,500.
2.0.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Well, okay, asking price $2,500.
Yeah, I understand.
So, yeah, when it gets to the point where that's all I need, I mean, maybe I'll luck out and find some raw ones in the wild somewhere, or find them decent in a lot. But
the best that I can do, I wanted a Fantastic Four #2 because I love scrolls. I think that they're the punching bag of the Marvel universe, and I love them for that. And the best I can do was find like a $200 coverless copy and get a reproduction cover for $20.
Right.
And it looks beautiful. So
I did that with Silver Surfer #1.
oh, cool.
I
Okay.
got a coverless copy.
Yep.
It's pretty decent, and then I spent $20 or $25 on a reproduction cover for it.
And it looks fantastic, right? And you
Yeah,
still
yeah.
have the original book. So, I mean, it scratched all my itches. What is written on the front of that book? Is that like in crayon?
It looks like Dan, somebody's name.
Okay. The owner, the previous owner.
Yes, he got a little
Or
carried away.
maybe the original owner of that book.
Yes, Dan somebody or other. All right, so where is... short box number 60? Next step is to organize all these.
At least you have a system, though. Like you know what box to pull down to start adding specific books to.
Right. If I don't know where that box might be located at. But,
okay.
and of course, it's on the bottom row.
Hey, not bad.
The row that's stacked 4 high. So I'm not going to get it out. I was just going to show Pops the Dell Giant 48 that I bought that was slabbed, and I broke it out of the slab.
Freed it from its cage.
I freed it, yes, from its imprisonment, and I pressed it, and it looks way better than it did in that slab.
These books are in immaculate condition for not being protected very well. I think I saw like two spine stresses on these books, but I cannot complain, especially for the price that I got these. I did all my Karening or my Karen complaining when they told me I couldn't use the promo code. Son of Satan. Yes. Number 2. Okay. Son of Satan number 3. Did you
Did I what?
Did you show number 1 or?
I did not. I have number 1. It's
okay.
just not. They had 3 through 8.
Sweet. Now you
so I have the full run now.
Oh really? Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't have the 30-cent price variance, but I'm not going to worry about them. Right. Not on Son of Satan, anyways.
Yeah, fair enough.
On these, the Dell 4-color, I may actually try and get price variance. My issue number 1 on the Son of Satan is atrocious, though.
Oh, okay.
These are
pretty decent.
These are all, yeah, especially compared to my issue 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all fine to maybe VF on a couple of them.
Cool. Oh, wow. Awesome.
But my issue 1 is, I guess sun faded might be a polite way of putting it.
Gotcha.
I don't think they're or bleached, maybe. I honestly don't know if there's a spot of red on the cover.
That's why it's not sticking.
I've got a red Sonia that's the same way. Red Sonia number 1. Not a spot of red on the cover.
Now, like original Red Sonja?
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, let's see how close that box is.
Okay. Done making noises.
Yeah, I can get it. Wait, no, that's not it. There it is. Well, that's easy to get. I guess I should have put the big camera up so you guys could see me fall.
Yes, so that we could be witnesses.
Yeah, when I climb up here to do this. So this is in here. Black Panther number 3. All right. So,
This pro wrestling one. I don't know if you're a wrestling fan, but I've watched wrestling like my entire life. And any wrestling book that comes out, I always pick it up.
all right. So, let's see here. Camera 2. No, camera 3. All right, so that's what Son of Satan issue 1 should look like.
And there's a lot of red on it.
That's what it should look like.
Got it.
And there's what mine looks like.
Well then.
Yeah.
Okay, I would so. Okay, I'm gonna assume that my Predator number 2 is the same kind of sun faded because it has a very similar hue of blue.
Yeah, the blue. Well, even the blue faded some. Yeah, sun bleached, sun faded. That's exactly what I'd say, Becker.
Fair enough.
So
yeah.
I've got to take this one step further, and it somehow is adhered to the board.
No. Okay.
So
I guess heat.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. There's
my assumption would be heated up.
It almost. Oh, I could try pressing it and see if I can get it off. But again, the book's really not worth that much to go through that much effort.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Other than maybe just to experiment.
It would be a
who
fun
knows?
experiment.
Maybe I would come across an expensive book. I would want to resuscitate somewhat. But yeah, it's almost like glue.
Oh no. Okay.
So.
It's like.
But now since I have issue 3 through 8, that means I probably better get a better grade copy of issue 1.
Issue 1. Yeah, that's fair. I have a fun time reading these books. I have no clue what most of these stories are about, especially this one.
Yeah, Pops, that's kind of what I thought. Or maybe sitting in a spinner rack that was up in a window for a long, long time. Now the same place I got these books from is where I got that Red Sonja number 1 that's in the same condition. Although I don't think it's stuck to the board, but it's sun bleached the same way.
Okay. If the sun bleaching turns books
and the bag
color, is
yellowed.
The back? Oh well, you can't talk about the back because it's stuck to a board. Because my next question would be like, is the back also sun bleached?
No, but there's something black on it.
Okay.
on the edge of the
Oh.
board.
Wow. Oh no. I bet you that backing board was painted at one point. And
I-
that could be like spray paint or something, and that's
Possible.
what it. Yeah, and then that heated up, cooled off. I think you could get it off with heat. Then I think that's your. Like, do you have a heat gun?
I've got a press.
Okay, well, yeah, I think that sounds like a good episode of pressing to figure out something, because if somebody else is in
Comic book CPR. Yeah.
yeah, if somebody else is in a similar situation, they could at least relate to your video. So yeah, because I keep thinking that this is just a color thing. So there's no reason for the back to also be blue. Been in a window display, maybe. That makes sense. Cool. So yeah, that's what I have. I'm not sure how far you are.
I gotta look around, but I think these Son of Satan's was the bottom of the bag.
Got it.
Got a piece of artwork I'm waiting on, but it's not here yet. It's supposed to be here Saturday. Didn't
Well,
show up.
This is technically a holiday weekend too.
Yeah.
So. All right. So now I got to go play with some chemicals.
Yeah, we can talk about that backstage.
That's fine.
Becker's talking to you.
Oh, hey, Becker. What indie books are you looking for right now? Oh. Like, actively looking for? I don't think anything. I don't know, Becker. I'd have to
Do you mean like
actually
hunting or actively reading?
Yeah. Or like looking forward to. Because that list is easy. I hope a Studio Ghibli fan watches the replay of this video and wants to talk about this book, because I'd love to. Let's see. Oh, and so this was my read of the week, or tied for read of the week. So it was tied between these two books, By the Horns #6 and A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. They're both very similar stories in that they don't have many words. And it was kind of just all art.
This has a value stamp, so I could possibly find one missing a value stamp for cheaper and then swap out the cover, as long as the cover's good.
For the Son of Satan one?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, Becker just wanted to know what you're hunting.
Oh. No. My LCS has a bunch of small press short boxes, like from all the small press books. They're more recent. And they're slowly letting me go through all of them, and it's been such a fun journey. Just stuff that I've absolutely never heard of. Yeah, I will eventually. Like, my long box diving days have never started. So
Have never started?
yeah, I've never dove into a long box looking for something. There is one book that's out, like, gotten away from me, but I guess it's just because I like the movie. Have you seen Losers?
Yeah.
I loved the movie, and then I found out that it was based off a comic strip, and I was like, yes, I'd love to see that. But then the characters aren't really reflected the same way. So
yeah, actually,
multimedia.
I've got the first 8 issues.
Okay. I don't believe it was a long run. I think it was like 23 or something like that.
32.
Not positive. 32. Okay.
32.
Dyslexia.
And when I saw that movie, I didn't know it was tied to the comic.
Yeah, well, if you've read it opened up the comic book, it looks nothing like the movie. The characters are completely different.
I guess I could show off some cards I found in my random searching. This is a factory set of Ash trading cards.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's focusing on the son of Satan.
Well, that's got to change.
There we go. Cool. Perfect.
There, how about I just do that?
That's a lot better. I could actually read it. Jim Calafiore's pencils depict
And
Ash's
Peter
crucifixion.
Palmiotti.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's like 7 cards.
I don't know. Well, they're somewhat thick, so I don't know what the actual set is.
Cool. Oh, technically, I'm looking for Power Pack too. I have like the first 10 issues of Power Pack.
So, Battle of the Planets. This is way better than Power Rangers, by the way.
No. Power Pack, the Marvel.
Yeah. I've got some random issues you're welcome to.
Cool.
I've
I'll have
got.
to double check if I have 1 through 8 or 1 through 10.
I have just random issues between 11 and 38.
Cool.
I mean, I've got issue 3 and 4, but
Yeah, it takes a lot for me to have duplicates of books, to be honest. This is the only recent duplicate I picked up. Was Verge. I really enjoyed this story. It came out 2 weeks ago.
yeah, Jimmy's brother.
Oh, cool.
So, what are you saying started as a war book?
Losers.
No,
I assume
Paul-
that's
Yeah.
because the original Losers was all about war.
I don't know the rest of these are that. Dinosaur trading cards.
Ooh, I love dinosaurs. Dinosaur trading cards. I have Dinosaurs Attacks. Those trading cards.
Then I just randomness. Fathom. Cards.
Oh, cool.
A lot of the stuff was things that came out of a wizard, maybe.
Okay,
Iron
yeah.
Maiden.
Hey, that's Magic the Gathering, right?
Fleer metal.
Man.
War Machine.
The infatuation with shiny things has gotten us to buy a lot of stuff.
90s goodness.
Okay, I think I picked up all the cornstarch.
I have no idea what any of these are worth. 10 cents. That's a checklist of some sort. That's actually a cool card. There's good old Punisher.
Nice.
Fleer Ultra X-Men. There's the dinosaur cards.
Yes, I was so obsessed with dinosaurs as a kid.
Then they must put them together and it makes a picture on the back.
Okay.
Future Comics. I got business cards from them from one of the conventions I went to.
Kirby. Oh, Kirby did a run on Losers? No.
Um,
Dinosaurs.
yeah, I didn't.
Back. It was by Tops too. Rage Strife, Thunderstrike, Scott. Okay, cool.
The Fleer Flare. These must have been expensive because I only bought one. I only bought one pack.
Is it still sealed?
No, it's not still sealed.
Okay.
Rhino versus Spider-Man.
Very nice.
This is kind of cool. I guess I do not remember these at all. But here's the Punisher. That's one side of it. And then the other side
Nice.
must have been like its insert Power Blast card.
Yeah.
And they're so thick you think you've got two cards in your hand. The Wedding. Death of America. Yeah, that old Daredevil's cool. And I've got 3 Spectre holograms just because it's the Spectre. And you can never have enough Spectre in your life.
Absolutely not.
See,
unless he's
hologram Hall of Fame. And I've got everything in this box. I've got some Stargate cards that were part of a game.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Stargate.
The Stargate game.
Like
two other hologram chase cards, but
I didn't know they had a game. To be fully honest,
premium trading cards. 7 movie cards plus 1 game card per pack.
Got it.
So
okay, I was more familiar with the film adaptation. I don't even know what came first.
You put these all together, and it makes the Stargate, and that must somehow be the game board.
Okay, cool. And
so
you collect them all, and then they form the entire. Okay.
It's got game clues on it.
That's wicked. Yeah, Stargate's awesome. It has a crazy fan base too.
Oh yeah, I had them all on. Had most of them on VHS before I started DVD.
Okay.
Then I had them all on DVD. Then I had them all on Blu-ray. But it looks like I probably have a full set of these.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that there was a video game.
So, yeah, once you get through the game cards, then they're just movie cards. Like, yeah, that's card 1.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
But yeah, these are definitely from the movie.
I forget what year that was too.
Oh, I should know. I think 86.
My guess was early 80s, like
I think 86.
86.
But
Okay.
I've got way more of those than I should. I must have bought a whole box, obviously.
Yeah.
I would buy a box of anything.
There was
Chris Foss.
that's over my head. The Wreck of the Narcissus something.
This must have been a fantasy art.
Looks cool.
Yeah, these fantasy art cards were big in the 90s.
The Narcissus instead of narcissist. I hope that's a double entendre.
So, ton of those. Again, it was probably a whole box. It was a 90 card set.
Now, how did you just stumble across these, or do you even
Yeah,
remember?
I was digging around in my bedroom looking. I was actually looking for a gun.
Okay.
I was looking for a gun, and I had to move some boxes.
Understood.
And as I was moving boxes, I found these card boxes. I'm like, hey, what's in these boxes? And some old Skybox cards. Marvel Masterpiece.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those colors are wild.
Yeah, the Marvel Masterpiece they were good stuff.
The wife loves Stargate. She has good taste.
Welcome, Rob.
How you going, Scott?
Then there were 3.
All of us, even.
How's it going, Rob?
Oh, another day, another $1, and then you spend 2, right?
Yep.
At least.
The never-ending step backwards.
At least.
No, I actually got some. I'm just waiting until a couple of my auctions to end so I can box up some stuff and ship out tomorrow.
Sweet.
So, make some room for some new stuff.
Hey, if you ever stumble across my eBay page, my eBay name is Hobbies Funding Hobbies.
There you are.
And that's my mantra.
New England College. So what are you bringing in here tonight, Scott? You're just bringing stuff into your inventory?
Yeah. It's stuff I picked up at the LCS the other day in the $3 bin.
Just the most random stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, just random. A bunch of Namors.
Ooh, I like Namor. The first series, or is it like the 70s or 80s series?
Yeah, Jaguar. There's
Silver Age stuff.
but yeah, the Namors were all the 60s and 70s stuff.
Okay, yeah, the Silver Age. Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I just showed a bunch of modern indies that I picked up from Scout.
You had to put my Namor stuff on hold. I I was working on getting the first 25 issues. I got the first 12,
Mhm.
and then I had a couple. I have plus a couple extras that aren't in a row sequence, but too many different things I was collecting at once. I had to hold off.
So I just
Oh.
they were $3 a piece. That's the only reason I picked
Yeah.
them up.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Joe.
I got 51 in a slab.
Sorry, it took
Actually-
some, but I just finished reading this and I was like, I need a break.
Actually, I think 19, the first Stingray, is the one I've really been kind of trying to track down. In a
I'm
good
not sure
grade.
what that was, Joe. It looked like Joker, though.
It's the new
Right.
Joker that comes out.
Puzzle box or
Is it issue like 7 or 6 or
Six.
6? Okay.
Eight. I'm sorry. It's issue 8.
We're at 8 already? Jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
I picked it up today.
All right.
It's
Nice.
the
Okay. So I'm gonna love it. Got it.
It's what?
Master of villainy.
all the characters are just they're all potatoes in this. I don't know if they're just dumb. They're
Uh-huh.
dumb. I'm just gonna go with dumb. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
good, indeed. Yes, that's
We're seeing just like the most random stuff, and then I pull out some modern indies, and
He made me big. He's the one that's got all the comic books showing there. That's weird. No,
Right.
me.
he wanted to put somebody on there who was gonna draw viewers. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Not the right way. Well, God. Oh, I've gotten some heat for that too, by the way. Just so you guys know.
I'm sure.
I've gotten a couple of DMs in my Instagram, and I was like, "Look, I did not monetize it. I just have the ability to monetize it. I haven't, right?" But some people are mad. Like, I got a whole dissertation about how hard somebody works on their YouTube channel, and I was like, "Sorry, you're putting out garbage." Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, why are they messaging you?
Because he
of
posted
what
on
I
his
did
Instagram.
over the evil layer.
Uh-huh.
The evil layer builds and projects and builds the channel
Yeah.
over there, and within less than 3 weeks it's monetized now.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, that's because you're putting out good content.
No.
Interesting content.
I'm absolutely not. All I did
The
was
best,
rehash.
the best content is how some people tell me.
All I did was rehash some videos from my main channel and stuck them on there, and then I did some nefarious trade crap shit.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious.
I already got I'm reporting you to YouTube. I don't know what you're going to tell them.
Somebody said that to you already?
Yeah, they're like, I'm reporting you to YouTube. One person still accusing me of buying subs, and I was like, you don't have to buy subs, and you don't have to work that hard.
Thinking
Why
YouTube can
do
check
they
all
care, though?
check all the IPs and see their unique IPs.
Yep, they're all unique IPs.
Honestly, Joe, why do they care?
Because
even-
they're jealousy, man. People are people, right?
That's so like, I don't get. The only thing that I joke about is that Austin has more subscribers than me, and I don't think I can catch him. Like, I physically don't think I can catch him because he's going to release a video soon.
Well, if there's something that's out there, somebody's gonna bitch about it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm surprised people are upset because I didn't have to say anything. I could have just kept the whole thing just off the books, right? And nobody would have known.
Well, it's like only a few people knew about the how.
Yeah.
And
even
so
then,
just
like,
a
I
random
could say
post saying that, hey, because your post was, it said, hey, for those who know.
those
So
two-
obviously it means that the people who are bitching either have to know, or it's just people who are just jealous that they can't get their stuff that.
I don't know.
and don't know anything about the why, right? So
It's only like 4 people, but man, they're hot. they're
well, there's an easy way to address that. Block.
Hater, there you go. Haters gonna hate.
he's gonna hate.
Welcome
Absolutely.
to the 12th annual Play a Haters Ball.
And like I said, I did not monetize the channel. I'm just able to monetize it now.
Right.
I'm not. Well, I say that. Truth is, let's see what happens now, because once now I'm able to be monetized, it bugs me up in the algorithm if my shit gets promoted.
I desperately want to know the usernames of the people who are hating too.
Out of fairness, they can. We'll let them throw the first salt up there.
Okay, that's fair.
About it. Like I said, people are upset. It is what it is.
It's just so pointless. Whatever.
All you gotta do is go to my real channel about the comic views. The same videos are there. I haven't done anything to that channel in years except for upload content. I think I'm at like 600 and something because I am garbage YouTuber. Like I know I am.
Now, is it just the channel name that got you there, or
No.
you
No,
actually nefariously did
fun
something?
stuff.
well, I nefariously did it. I did some straight up James Bond trade crack shit that I read from like the 1980s. Like I'm not even kidding. Of how to wires using something that you open up hotel locks with, and
Key card entry points
and just doing some little understanding human nature. Nailed the right things in the right places at the right time, and sat back and watched that shit happen.
All right, I like it. I like it a lot. Let me go subscribe.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
I am absolutely sure at some point YouTube's going to be like, yeah, this is suspect as shit. Right?
Yeah.
They're probably waiting for me to fill out the paperwork and try to monetize, and they'll turn around and shut it down, I'm sure.
I don't know. They're looking at it and going, wow, let's look at it.
What's
They're all
the-
unique
what's the name of the
people, man. I
channel?
can't.
It's Evil Lair Projects and Builds.
Okay.
Maybe there's a
Reported.
lot of people really interested in that. Yeah. What do you know?
And the way I program the NFC chips, only the actual builds or playlist would pop up in various NFC chips. So it would pop up and start playing the video and subscribe you.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I just reported your channel. No, I just actually subscribed. I'll subscribe on my other account too. Let's get these numbers up. Actually, I'll subscribe on all 4 of my channels real fast.
They just noticed that a high concentration of your viewers are in a very small geo location
Yeah.
compared to a standard dispersal pattern.
They're in
Got it.
4 main hubs in the world, right? I'm international, baby. I'm like Pitbull up in this bitch.
Right, of course, naturally. I would expect nothing less.
I understand none of this. I have no clue
That's
what you're
fine.
talking about. It just sounds like
It's
metaphor
plausible
after metaphor
deniability.
after metaphor.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you where 90%.
Kyle, have you ever seen
subscribers
Hogan's
take-
Heroes?
No,
Yes, I have actually.
Yeah. Schultz.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
You're okay to be Sergeant
Oh,
Schultz. It's
I
okay.
know nothing. I see
Yeah,
nothing.
and sometimes plausible deniability is best.
Got it.
I
But what were
literally-
you saying, Joe? Your
The
market is
great
where?
thing about it is all my subscribers on that channel, whether they know it or not, are all comic book fans, because where I sent the NFC chips to calculate them were at Comic Cons throughout the world. I hit up Lithuania, which has one of the largest ones in the U.S.
Oh, so that is pretty diverse,
South
geodiverse.
Africa, 2
I don't
major
even know
comic
what
cons there.
I don't even know what an NFC chip is.
NFC chips and
Near-field communication.
RFID chips, really the same thing.
Okay.
Whenever you do a Google Pay,
Oh,
or
understood.
you unlock a door with a card or a little sticker for an advertisement,
Got it.
it pops it up. Well, you can program those to straight up subscribe you and play one of your longest videos. So let's say somebody's, even if the lock screen's on, so in the background it will play. So like I have tons of watch hours.
So how do you have to be like in proximity to somebody?
Yeah. Or something where it's at.
So just like go to a con and like on the front door, just like tape it to the.
Oh, them people are rushing to get in there, and their cell phones are brushing up against that doorway. Ting, 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 ting.
That's nuts. If that's actually true, I absolutely love it. I hope it's
We
true.
can neither
That's-
confirm nor to deny the
Oh no,
accuracy of this
and
tale.
it's not going to matter. Like none of this is going to come back on. But I desperately hope it's real.
You want one?
Absolutely.
What we did is we put I put one. So
I'll just hang out outside grocery stores. Hello.
The problem with this is it actually costs you money. You got to understand that. Like you're paying a little bit of money here. So I actually bought a table at the Cape Town Comic Con and sent like a package and asked the concierge if they wouldn't mind setting up my table because I was running late and I needed my table set up for my eBay store because I wanted to start selling my comic books internationally. Of course, I have an eBay store, I have a YouTube channel, I have all this other stuff.
It all checks out, yeah.
Right? All looks legit digitally. So the guy was nice enough to send me an email back. I kind of gave him a description of what I wanted. He sets everything up, including a banner that kind of folded on the table like this. And all along that banner, NFC chips, cards with NFC chips, QR code on the table, some bullshit comics that I didn't care about that I told people to take for free. And then I had my station down that way in the Army, put 2 on each of the major doorways, 2 of the stickers on the doorways as people walk through.
You're not joking. That's awesome. What? Cool. And you get legitimate comic book fans.
Legitimate, so.
No, I'm saying that they are legitimately a comic book
They're real
fan.
people.
I'm not saying that they're
They're-
like a fan of whatever
They're
you
just-
decided to give them.
They're not bots, but
They might not be fans of international hijacking, but
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
1.49.
1.49. You're almost at 1,500.
what I'm going to be curious to see what your retention is.
So YouTube, I was actually up to 2,000 subscribers. YouTube kicked me back to 1,490, what you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
That just happened the other day. That's what they kicked me back to.
Maybe not all of them, but part.
Oh, I'm sure some of the people will be like, why am I subscribed to this and unsubscribe? But
I don't check my
fill out my
subscriptions.
monetization paperwork now. Even if I go under the 1,000 mark, I'm still monetized according to YouTube's terms and conditions.
You might as well then. Yeah. Get it out of the way, and then you can do whatever you want.
I'm the next PewDiePie. Pew pew.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say
This is
that.
what happens when grown men read comic books.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. I take it back. Oh, man. That's awesome. Cheers to you. That's awesome.
Indeed.
So what gave you this idea?
Surprisingly, a James Bond comic book
Yes. Source material.
from the 80s, Moonwalker. Remember the movie and it got turned into Roger Moore one and it got turned into a comic book?
Yeah.
Oh, Moonraker.
Raker, that's it.
Yeah.
They passed the
Not to be
data-
confused
Moonwalk
with
with Michael
Moonraker.
Jackson.
they passed the data along for the spies using watches, right? They touched the watches, and I was like, I know about NFC chips. I didn't know we were even thinking that way back in the day. And then I got to thinking, I was like, how can I hack a channel? And pass that along to people, because that's all it is at the end of the day. So, mind you, I started that channel, I don't know, I think it was like August. And by the time I had everything uploaded and everything attached to it to make it look as legit as I could, I attached it to my eBay store as well because I knew I wanted to get as many people as possible and as quickly as possible. So I I did it. And I recorded about 90% of everything I did. So when it finally gets taken down, I can actually use it as an evil layer project.
Yes. See what I did, and here's the evidence. It's right here.
And just give it to everybody. I bet you that YouTube algorithm changes.
Yeah.
Yes. Taking down big YouTube. That's what. That's awesome. Dude, okay, cool. I'm 100%. If you need anything, I'm here. Thank you for sharing that story. I'm very happy that you
No
did.
problem. It's fun. Like I said,
It made my night. So
trying to be like nefarious at it or trying to.
no, who cares? You're not harming anything.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're the one that's forking out the money.
laws.
If you
I guess
bought
that
something,
depends on what country I'm in. But I'm in the U.S., so.
There might be something to though.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a wire fraud thing. I'll probably
Yeah.
But
Okay.
lawyer.
But yeah, I guess maybe privacy concerns. But who's gonna?
I'm
Nobody's.
I'm collecting zero data.
There you go. Yeah. So there's nothing that's changed.
If anything, now you can expose it as a means to which people could potentially try to pull data. And
Yep.
That technology's well beyond my skill set.
That's yeah. There you go. I don't know what you're talking about. I just read comic books.
Yeah,
Have
it's
you
a lot
seen my
easier
channel?
to push data than it is to pull data.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah.
it is.
so, like a push me, pull you.
That's so crazy.
It's great.
Oh, good. My
The
domain
sad
finally
thing
got.
is, those stickers will stay on those doors until somebody actually scrapes them off.
I'm straight up gonna put one at a grocery store. 10K in 2 months.
And we'll know why Kyle gets.
I won't do it to
Kyle-
my main
Kyle will be
channel.
lucky-
No.
Kyle will be lucky enough to be the one who gets caught, and he'll be
Right.
in jail. And
And then they're gonna pull up this video as me like admitting, like, oh yeah.
I have put this out there at least 8 times on live feeds now. Like, this is
Okay.
not even me
My thing
being
is, like-
secret or nefarious. I have openly talked about this everywhere.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it like I think 2 weeks ago on Banner.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been on Banter recently. Okay.
Yep. That's when the whole thing started launching, and then I started getting the views. Somebody asked on Banter, and they're like, "What's going on with the second channel here?" And I was like,
My late night YouTube rants, I take them down because of the things that I talk about. That's the main reason.
I just talk about it on other people's channels.
There you go. There you go. Thanks for letting us in here, Scott. I'd like to tell you about some other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jill, let's
Yeah.
talk about that new heroin recipe we were talking about.
"You've heard of Black Chart? This is gold talk."
We're not going
Gold
to give
is
out the
better.
napalm recipe.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that's
that's
true.
that's special stuff.
He's already got the cornstarch packing peanuts.
Oxidized and everything.
Nice.
He didn't believe me until he actually ate one that they were.
Yeah, if you watch like when I first jumped on, he's like, "You should eat one of those." I'm like, "I'm just gonna believe you because you haven't steered me wrong yet." And
Yeah.
it tastes all right. It tastes like cornstarch.
Yeah, it's nothing exciting. They're there so it'll dissolve in water and
Yep.
not
I like them.
and they don't clog up landfills.
They stick to my
Theory.
hands when my palms are sweaty.
They're still the bane of my existence.
They're-
DJ has tape. I have packing peanuts. They're my nemesis. I do like the number of people who've been using packing paper lately in shipments to me because I much prefer that, being able to take that and reuse it and fill space and not have to use up as much bubble wrap to fill empty gaps in boxes and stuff.
Yeah, I've had people bitching me for using using
Really?
paper. But it's
Oh.
probably because I have a crisscross shredder and I was putting
Oh.
shredded paper in.
As opposed to I was talking about just the brown packing paper stuff that you can get. But I can see
Yeah.
that. I used to hate I even saw somebody else open a box. It was the same thing. PGX, like they're like decided, I guess they can't get packing material or something. So they've just been using like plastic bags and like either like trash bags, or they got all these bags. I guess that people send books bagged and boarded, and they take them out and they keep all these bags, and then they
Mhm.
crumple these things up and use them as packing material to send back out. And so you get like a box of trash essentially. Like
Yeah.
it's like my books have come in a box full of trash.
I had that happen once
Thanks.
too.
Here's some trash.
I had one book. This guy, I bought one book. He sent it in a diamond box filled with a bunch of crumpled up promo comic books, and then just my one book sitting in the middle. An entire
Nice.
diamond box. Like,
Well, I got one that's now I have to start paying attention to the boxes, because I actually had today I had a shipment that was going out. Somebody bought my sensational She-Hulk 40.
oh, okay.
So that's the She-Hulk jumping rope naked.
Uh-huh.
That the price on it has gone up ridiculously as of late. So it was selling for over $800. And I said,
Wow.
well, if somebody wants to pay $800 for that book, they're welcome. They're welcome to it, because I paid way, way, way less than that. And sure enough, somebody, I listed it at 900. Somebody offered me 801. I came back and said, well, I could go 820, just enough so that way they don't say forget it.
Mm-hmm.
They said okay. They took it. So I went to pack it up, and instead of putting it in the medium flat rate box, I had
put it on a jump rope.
No. I had a CGC box that they'd sent a single slab to me. They were one of their new ones. It's pretty small. And I was able to pack it with some foam corners and stuff. So it was better packed than when you put them in these priority mailers. But the postage was cheaper than in the flat rate box.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they've raised the flat rate box fees, I'm going to have to start paying.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to start paying attention to sometimes the right size box. It's cheaper to ship in a plain box.
Correct. And I think that's what it's becoming too, because it was like 70 cents or something like that.
Well, and I have to pay attention too, because actually through eBay, it would have been like $12 if I'd shipped it via FedEx, but I had said I was only shipping via USPS, including in the description. So I thought it would be kind of hokey to then change it to FedEx. But FedEx, the other thing that's weird is on a high dollar item, even though it's cheaper to ship FedEx for shipping charges, for eBay, once it gets over $750, if you don't do a signature required, then they won't offer protection if the person claims they didn't get it. And the U.S. Postal Service is like $2 for signature requirement. On FedEx, it was like $5.50 for them to get a signature. And I've had a lot of FedEx signatures dropped at my doorstep and left, including alcohol, where it was 21 and over and signature required, that they just left there. And I've had to call FedEx and say, you just served a minor, because my son picked up the bottle of whiskey.
Why would you rat him out? That just makes everything bad for us. You're the guy that DM'd me, aren't you?
I'm the what?
He was playing out a fantasy. There are these things that happen in Joe's head constantly.
I'm one of Joe's fantasies. I'm not sure if I'm flattered or not.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I need to buy some wine.
The only problem is, I know Joe's fantasies involves a freaking colored shirt.
Right. AKA handlebars.
Gives me something to grab onto.
Right,
you ever
Scott,
watch?
You better kick us out of here, Scott.
You ever watch a British show called Blackadder?
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes of that actually. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So in the second season, there's one point where the character Baldrick, who's the scum peasant, whatever, he's dressed up as a bridesmaid, and this dude Flash comes in. He's like, walks in, sees him in the dressing. like the beard bridemaid, gives me something to grab onto.
Yeah, I remember that. I need to get back to watching it. I'm pretty sure it's still on my streaming feed. I need to go back and watch that. For some reason, I was watching it, and then I jumped over to the IT crowd.
Oh, that's very good too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that kind of British humor. Because I've met British people, and they're actually boring.
Yeah, no.
That show is really good.
they're really good at insulting people. Yeah, and that's when some of their people are their best. That's why I can't stand when I talk to a lot of other Americans and they sit there and they talk about Mr. Bean. I'm like, oh, you like that drivel? I mean, that's Rowan Atkinson's worst shit. Some of his best stuff is when he's insulting somebody else and playing off somebody who's playing the straight person, whether it be Blackadder or whether it's Thin Blue Line, which is another great one he did. But watching him as just a dorky goof, that's I don't
the British version of Charlie Chaplin. Yeah.
I always liked that Little Britain. Did you watch much of that?
I've heard of it.
Red Dwarf is one of my all-time favorites, and but although that's just kind of got weird.
The teacher and the school kids. I know there's the in-betweens. I like that one. But there was one where a guy goes in and he's like a school teacher, and the kids are all returned potatoes, and the teacher's very aggressive.
I don't know that one.
Oh, I love that one.
Used to watch back in the day Are You Being Served and all those other, but I am unanimous in that. So Scott, I picked up the other day. I picked up a Brave and the Bold number 29.
All right.
I had a 30% off coupon for the online store. It's a fine minus, supposedly raw, but so I'll see when it gets here. I mean, they have their own little grading scale, but they're usually pretty good. Most of the time I've gotten their books, they're pretty accurate, and they're in the past they're grading stuff. So I'm like, sometimes they're low because that's where I got my World's Finest 34 when they had it a fine minus. It came back a 6.0. And it was great.
So you got 30% off of one book, or like your entire
whole order? Well, it was 30% off any DC. I picked up Brave and the Bold 29 and 200. 200 is just a cheaper book, obviously, but still first appearance of the Outsiders, first appearance of Katana, and then Brave and the Bold 29, that second Justice League. I like the cover on 29 better than 28, anyways, because I like robots over starfish every day.
Yeah, I don't have a 29.
They still had they had like 2 copies, both of two at a fine minus, but their coupon was only over the weekend, so it made it pretty because it was like 4.5, and then so then you get 30% off of that. So
I've got a couple of 200s, I guess.
Yeah. The 200 is a newsstand, at least.
Right.
If that matters. It doesn't really, but
it's still in somewhat good See, I'm not impressed with it being a newsstand, but if it's a newsstand,
I'm
impressed.
No. This 200, the 200 is it's in VF plus / near mint minus.
Yeah, those are just words.
I know. 85 to 90.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, now I'm impressed. Yeah, that's impressive. I purposely, whenever I do rarely sell a comic book on eBay, I give some fictitious random grade to it, and then I make sure the person understands that I do not grade comic books. This is arbitrary and subjective.
Don't even bother to assign a grade if you don't know. Just simply say, here's what I see.
Yeah, like I don't know what to tell you. The cover's all fucked up, but the pages are there. Good luck.
Yeah. When I ended up doing with that Destro, that first Destro that I cracked open, I listed it, and
I didn't see anything wrong with that. I was going to ask you if you just sell it straight to me. but after looking, I got 3 copies of it.
I mean, I will sell it to anybody. I mean, it's up on eBay right now. But I will pull it down and sell it to anyone for less. That's somebody I know and not have to pay eBay fees. But like on it, the description for it. I mean, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Good luck, motherfucker. That's what it says.
No. I mean, I was very thorough in describing what the visible description is on that damn thing. Where the hell did it go? Oh, it must be on the second page of my listings. Oh, wait, because it's showing me I hate eBay. I really do.
Cat, man. They want you to give shit away.
There we go. So I wrote, here's what I listed. Condition. There are some minor color breaking ticks along the spine. None appear to be longer than 1/8 of an inch. The bottom edge has some slight wear. In addition, there are some pressable issues on the front and back cover as well. The interior pages are in excellent condition with no significant wear. Page color appears to be off-white to white condition. I am not a professional grader, but as a collector,
I'm not.
please refer to the pictures with a good cleaning press. The book should be.
Whenever anybody says that, I automatically knock it down a grade.
Yeah, right. That as well. I mean,
and then I posted
conservative.
I posted pictures, not just high res pictures of the front and the back, but then along the spine, along the top, along the bottom, in the middle, the back.
Yeah, all those pictures you send me, you ought to be able to make a good determination for yourself from them.
Right. Exactly. It's like, and that's what I did. I pulled those pictures that I sent you, and I would say, hey, somebody wants it. I honestly, I was joking. I was talking with somebody, and we were half joking that I should almost take it and send it right back as is to see what it comes back on the second grading, because I couldn't even the black light couldn't find anything, and so I'm just like, somebody screwed up.
To it? What were you looking for with the black? You know what?
Supposedly there was a stain. No, the grader's notes claimed that there was a stain in the middle of the book. That supposedly was the justification for a 4 or 5. I could not find anything, because there's nothing else that would come close to justifying why that book is a 4 or 5.
What did you grade it at before?
I figured it's an 8. 7, 5, 8. If you press it and get all those pressables out, maybe 8.5. Maybe if you get a generous grader, you might hit a 9. But I mean, that's the cap end. It's not going any higher than a 9. If it does, then that's just somebody who's drunk.
Yeah.
Like
hold
the
on, the
first
fact
grader.
that you just
You want me to grade it?
right? This looks like a 12.5.
You know what?
Well, I said drunk as the first guy, right? So that was like, the joke was like, oh, I should just send it in exactly as it is and see what it comes back to see, right? But I'm like, oh, I don't want to. That's an 8-month project and another expense just to prove a point, and then what? Then I still have a book that needs to be pressed,
and you're not going to get anything out of it.
So I have to crack it again.
You proved your point. Yeah.
So then I have to crack it again and get it pressed.
As long as you publish that proven point in a video, and then you can use it as evidence, then I think that's.
It was a good endeavor though, because if nothing else, that was the first time I ever cracked a CGC slab. I've never done a CGC slab before. And
I want to touch on one thing that you said though,
yeah.
Rob, when you mentioned a phrase that I'm unfamiliar with, and that was generous grader. I didn't know that was a thing. So it is all just subjective. Like it's
usually
like however they're feeling.
First year grader who's just being nice.
Yeah, there's
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, it's all subject. It's an individual. In CGC claims it's multiple individuals who are but obviously it's not who are reviewing a book and then coming to a conclusion based on their criteria, an accumulation of visible defects or observed defects based on the number that they of defects they count and other criteria which can set the cap. So, for
Yes.
example, a color breaking crease of like 2-inch long color breaking crease, if the rest of the book would be a 9.8 and it had there, it doesn't matter. It's a 5.5. It's not going any higher. Period, because it's the
Yeah.
cap that sets it, right? So,
So-
there are certain criteria that will set the cap.
I've read the entire criteria too.
Right.
It's really boring, but
That's
like,
good
what I
because CGC uses their own.
that's-
Whatever you've read, you haven't
So-
seen it because
so,
CGC
Rob,
doesn't publish it.
I want to make one point.
Yeah.
You're smart enough that you, granted at your own expense, can prove what they are doing is all just subjective, and it's based on like an individual basis, because you can do it, but it's going to cost you money, and you're going to have to submit like the same book 3 times to prove them wrong.
Well, it's
And
been done by other. First of all, everybody. There's no need to prove that it's subjective because
Okay.
it's humans doing it that are
Correct.
counting.
It's not like a
they're-
computer that like measures.
Right.
And
Humans
yeah.
are counting the errors, and therefore it's subjective because you
Absolutely.
can. And there have been multiple issues in the past where, with all grading companies, it's not just CGC,
I understand.
where they're doing it right. What you're doing is you're asking a third party who's not to assign a value, to assess it, and supposedly they're professionals.
Yep.
And they're going to assess a value, and then people either have to agree that that's what it is because this third party said so, or
Correct.
you can argue one way or the other. I mean, the value is not set by the. I mean, it is heavily influenced by that third party because they are
Correct.
assigning a grade, but the ultimate value is assigned by the seller and the purchaser.
That's just there's so much variance. I could look at a 9, like I have a 9.8 in a slab that isn't a 9.8 because they damaged it in the process of slabbing it, and
Well,
I never.
I've had
the
books.
slab,
I've
but,
had books with PGX. I sent back. I had a book that came back was a 10.0, a
Mhm.
perfect 10. I sent it back because in their encapsulation process, the same thing happened. They bent a corner, and so it had to go sent back,
Oh
and
my
it got
goodness.
knocked down after they pressed it back out.
I
It was able
understand.
to be back a 9.8, right? But
I own 2 slabs, and so
so, but the thing is, and here's the other part of it, is that
Yeah.
all these grading companies, they all have their own process.
system. Yeah,
They
exactly.
have their own system.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
and this is where I used to, when I used to defend PGX aggressively, and I'll
Yes,
still defend them
yes.
somewhat because they're still a third party and whatever you want to do, right? But
They're no better than the other people, in my opinion. Granted, if some of them do,
they're definitely
nefarious
not better than the
things.
other. Yeah, there's other issues. There's other issues.
Yes, I
but
understand those issues as well.
when it comes to grading,
Yes.
how they approach a book versus CGC is very different. And this is why I have several 10.0s from PGX and I've never seen a 10.0 from CGC, although I know they exist. And
I've
that is
seen
that
one not in person though.
right. CGC's head grader, and now I don't know, whatever his role is now. I just saw something, he got promoted recently. He was in a video where he talked about, actually shed some interesting light on their process. And he said that basically a book starts at a 9.8. And in order to become a 9.9 or a 10.0, it has
You
to have
impress them. Yeah.
plus characteristics.
Yeah.
So
You get a paper cut holding it.
So basically what they say, a 9.8 is a book that's been manufactured. It's going to have certain manufacturing and handling issues with it. But
Understood.
but aside from that, the very minor manufacturing and handling issues is considered a 9.8, which is a great score. When
Yes.
you don't observe handling issues or the manufacturing issues that are normal, then you can get these plus attributes to get a 10. But again, what is a plus attribute? It's not really defined. It's very subject to the interpretation. Whereas with PGX, for example, they start at a 10 and then they start deducting points based on observable defects. So just by that nature of that,
There's
you
going to
started
be more
at
10s. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because the other company does not start at a 10.
Exactly. So that's why you're going to
Nuts.
see it. So yes, the grading systems are different. They use that same 10.0 scale, but
Yep.
how they define them are different.
And don't take this the wrong way. I appreciate your knowledge, but it just deters me from wanting to grade books because
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me. As I guess
it's something I discover. It's something I've learned over time
Mhm.
and through a lot of stuff, and it's out there, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
so you have to take it with what it is.
Me with the thing.
What was that, Joe?
I just watch Comic Tom. He tells me what to think.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. You must be.
How's that working out for you,
filthy
Joe?
rich.
no, because if he's listening to Comic Tom, he's only buying books after it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
at the sticker price that they're saying too, which is also inflated.
Well,
Man, okay, but yeah, like I said, I appreciate the knowledge. Like, thank you.
but it's a fun process. I don't know. But next week's gonna be a good week. Should be getting I'll get those in. I got some more mystery and space stuff coming.
Ooh,
I
mystery.
like that.
There's a good one.
Oh, I've been picking up some of those. Getting some good covers, finding a couple that have been really good condition, and they're not. That's not a series that a lot of people are chasing, so it's not very expensive.
Yeah. It hasn't been optioned yet. Although those little headless chicken things that were in Loki, their first appearance was in a Mysteries in Space.
The chicken head thing. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, when they went to that weird, crazy world.
Yep.
That's a lot. I'm trying. I'm really.
And they threw it in the show so that they could sell plushies, correct?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're different companies, but
Yeah.
Same concept. Some stuffed animal that my dog would eat.
Oh man. I'm gonna go grab some more food.
Not you.
I keep thinking it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock here at night. And he's like, I'm grabbing food. And I'm like tomorrow? There's no
midnight snack? What? Yeah, no, it's only 7 o'clock.
8, yep.
Yeah, dinner down there.
You see where CGC graded that Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile as a first print?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me there are two people that independently looked at that book.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Because they did it with a New Mutants 98 facsimile too.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, no, I know that one because I remember I saw it, not the book itself, but I saw pictures of it because I was on my Go Collect app, or not Go Collect. I was in Go Collect via CZ. I was in my inventory and I'd seen the price on the facsimile for some reason all of a sudden jump really high, and I was like, oh, what the hell? Why is the value of the facsimile all of a sudden, like in a 9.8, $200 or something? And oh, nice. Yeah, that's some of those ones are tough to. The good ones are hard to find or get. There are a few that are of the Strange Adventures in Mystery and Space that are super expensive. I drilled down and I went to the Go Collect and I clicked on the sales, and it'll show you the eBay sales, and I saw the one there. All of a sudden, there was this one eBay sale that was like $800 or something, and I was like, "Oh, what the hell?" And when I clicked on the eBay auction to go to the pictures that were listed in the auction, then I could see that the description was written as first appearance of Deadpool, and all the stuff that was down below, only buried in the very fine print, did it say facsimile in the person's description. But the picture itself, you could clearly see that it was the facsimile because of the barcode and the price, but CGC made no mention on their label that it was the facsimile whatsoever. So the person who had it was just sold it to some sucker.
So the thing that kills me is, and I was always wary of this because whenever we go to Comic Cons, before Corona, I was at Comic Cons every 2 months. I was at a Comic, and then I started noticing, CGC would show up and do the 1-day grading. So if you got in there early enough, you can get the 1-day grading. So I started seeing these facsimiles pop up, and so my question is, because they were rushing, like everybody knew you were rushing at the 1 days because everybody's screaming and yelling to get theirs in time. They weren't paying any money. Like people were losing their minds on this. I thought it was a good idea for them to do it. because they were just taking them in, and I'm wondering if those two facsimiles got pushed through on a Comic-Con.
I don't know if they did that, or I'm sure there's a couple of ways it happens. One is when you're filling out your submission paperwork, whether if you skip filling out the variant and you don't spell out that it is, then you probably automatically have a higher chance of some, especially right now where they've hired so many newbies and everything else, just going New Mutants 98. Yep, New Mutants 98. Okay, move it along. UF4. Yep, all right, move it along. They don't know what to look for necessarily.
Yeah.
Although they should have notes in their system when you pull up the book that tells them like how many pages there are, if there's a special insert that they're supposed to be looking for, as well. Supposedly they know their system also supposedly notes known manufacturing defects, so that way if something is a known manufacturing defect on a book, for example, Amazing Spider-Man 361, well known for having the machine grab issues at the bottom, in the overwhelming majority of them. So that is noted in their system, and they don't count that against it getting a 9.8 if it is minor and consistent with what they normally see. So those types of things should be noted in their system when they bring up the stuff. And if it's not, and you get somebody who's new and doesn't know what he's looking at, then I'm no doubt that somebody didn't define what variant it was on their submission form, and that probably helped it along.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, for the UF4s to come back graded, they were being rushed through no matter what period, whether it was at a con or whether it was through expedited, somebody paying a lot of money to get it done, because there's no way that got graded with their 8-month turnaround time on the slow boat right now. It hasn't been out that long.
Right.
Yeah, just okay. Yeah, I just learned about the 361. Yeah. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, the UF4 is exacerbated by the fact that it's not that long ago of a book.
You ready for this? That's an overrated book. I'll flat out say it. That is I don't know why that book is so popular for a mimic character.
For first appearance?
For a mimic character.
Well, except that character, and it wasn't for so long. So it really took off about 7 months ago, when PlayStation released the game. Right. And at first I was like, oh, really? This is spiking over a video game?
The first appearance of the Mario Brothers in comic book continuity, is it worth more than that book?
But it was what it was there's a lot of people who have...
And there's a hell of a lot less of those printed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who are really dig and have glommed on and attached to the Miles Morales
I'm not buying them, because the comic book sales currently and the comic book sales even then for Miles Morales weren't that high. It's a very low selling book.
I'm not going to argue that. I'm saying, but there's enough people who seem to think he's decent character that he has had staying power with these new crops, and Marvel still wants and Disney still wants to have these new young diverse characters be able to do something, right? That when Sony
is Static popular, you would think Static would be popular, and he's not a mimic.
They're bringing him back.
He's original.
Yeah, but DC's bringing him back.
The original comic book isn't worth more than the Fallout.
It spiked a little bit when DC brought him back, but no, he's not. It's not.
It's not.
But here's the difference. Okay, so the idea is that the release of the Sony PlayStation game, combined with the recent success of the animated movie and the announcement of a second animated movie with him as the star, solidifies essentially his position that he's legit in the eyes of speculators and collectors. That he has some individual power, standing power on his own, as opposed to just being a retread character now.
It's a retread character regardless. Static has his own TV show, and it was a damn good show, mind you. Like, it was legit. Like, I loved that. I'll watch that cartoon today, and it still resonates today.
I don't read Miles Morales Spider-Man. I don't particularly care for the Miles Morales Spider-Man as an individual. I'm a Peter guy. a Miguel O'Hara guy, second, right?
Mhm.
But I own a UF4, and I'm not gonna if everybody else wants to drive up the value on it,
I
that's
got a couple.
fine.
Sell them.
I mean,
Get
that's
it.
fine. I'm not.
Yeah. And mind you, this is in no way whatsoever an attack. I respect you way too much to attack you. But no, I'm not attacking you in any way. I'm questioning. I've always questioned
I question a lot of grades
this
or a lot of
market,
values, right?
the market. Right? I question the market.
So, and you should, right? And so, as an example that's really, really good. Let me.
Because the moment you follow their rules, but you point out where they're missing their rules, immediately you're the bad guy. And that's why
Absolutely.
I use Miles Morales and Static
So-
because that's apples to apples right there.
Right.
That's fair.
Well,
Miles Morales should be as popular as Static, but
Static should be more popular
it's
than
the
Morales.
maybe Spider-Man, but it's Marvel.
oh,
Marvel's
I was saying
Marvel.
like
Marvel
from,
trumps Milestone.
okay,
and
I was just
DC.
saying from your perspective.
Mhm.
But like Into the Spider-Verse like was such a good movie. Like the
Not a
and the
good-
reason that I liked it was just from the animation perspective. Like
Yeah.
they crushed it. Like it was very well done. So
Well, well,
they broke a lot of like boundaries too. Like other animators are using that film
well, yeah.
as like a reference point
Clone Wars
moving
did the
forward.
same thing, but when Bad Batch came back out, we said, "Oh, look, it's the same animation." We kind of turned it down,
I'm watching Clone Wars right now, right?
right?
Yep. I'm at the start of a new episode where they have the quote. This one's truth enlightens
I
the
guess
mind.
the biggest point is if you're gonna base a market, and mind you, I'm almost positive that I look at markets differently than most other people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Fair enough.
if you're going to describe something as a market, there's no economist that would agree on anything that we discuss in here.
Look, okay,
Whatsoever. Not
so
even the secondary
I-
market because the
okay.
rules are fictitious.
I actually have back in in April of this year
Mhm.
on Sidekicks Talk Comics we did a show,
Uh-huh.
and on that show I talked about we were talking about the market and where it was because in April of this year it was really in its ballistic takeoff, right? And I took several examples of books that I had purchased within the last 12 months,
Mhm.
okay, of what I paid for them, which was at market value at the time, and where market value was at that point in time, right? And among them, just take Amazing Spider-Man 298, right? In a 9.8, I had paid $200 for the book,
Right.
and at that point, it was selling for $920 in a matter of 1 year. It had gone up 360%. ASM 299 had gone up 400% over what I had paid, what the market value was, right? You take that Ultimate Fallout 4. So I had bought my copy in December of 2020, and it was a signed copy. And with that, it had gone up in 4 months. It had gone up 130%.
Yeah.
Edge of the Spider-Verse,
My port one, I found
100%. If I could find that many stocks that would go up on my 401k or something, or
anything. So I know a lot of people that are in that deal in high end cars, right? Like the whole
Right.
rebuilding, like they go to the big auctions, they drop $100,000 on a remake of a car, right? And I was kind of trying to fit in, and I was talking about comic books and how fast prices jump around and the reasons why, and using all the buzzwords that we use in our little community here. They all laughed me away from their conversation, and I'm kind of an aggressive guy. I don't like that, but
No. No, keep going. That was just really funny to me.
No, that's the end of that story. That's how, because if I did anything, they'll get better lawyers than me.
well, but they'll drop big money on a rebuild and stuff. God damn! I mean, at least we're buying just paper. It actually falls apart. If I had a car from 1961, I hope that it's still together in decent condition.
I have a comic book in my collection right now that is worth more than my most expensive antique watch that I have. We should think about that for it. This thing's solid gold. Even the gears in it are gold.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, when you
Think about that for
when
a
you
second.
get to some of your really old books in high condition,
Damn.
that gold is only just most of that value is actually
That
melted
paper
value.
is worth more than gold. Comic book collector.
Is it?
You guys want to see something cool though?
Sure.
So I'm making prosthetic fingers now,
Right.
right? Here's my first prototype. Now I'm a horrible 3D printer. I openly admit that.
Right. You had chip.
Right. My 3D printer can only print graphite because that's all I ever use for anything else that I do. But it's very brittle. But here's kind of our concept, right? We got our base, and then we got this cool little hinge, right? And then the elastic bands will run through here, and it will be a double tension, right? So think of a fishing line off the wrist.
Yeah.
That goes into it. So as he moves any other part of his hand, it will automatically move whatever happens here, right? But then as soon as it relaxes, it will pop back into place.
And what is this for?
It's for Nick's Kicks and Comics.
You're dead serious. That's how the muscles work too, right?
Yeah.
With the tension.
That's
What?
how these prosthetics work. But we're going to make these bio enhancements because we're putting a laser in one, a blade in another, and then Chip Getler says he's going to come up with something because
it's going to be a
do
roofie delivery system so he can stir the drink.
Something. Does meet like cereal on Saturday morning.
Here, let me go get your drinks. No.
Does
Which
he
finger
know
you
of,
want? Got
where
on?
you are with the concept?
Yeah, this is the first prototype out of graphite.
Has he seen it?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Beautiful. I actually went down to Eastern Virginia Medical Institute, which is right here in Norfolk, and talked to one of their prosthetic people. And I was like, what's the difference between a prosthetic and a bio enhancement? And how the hell am I supposed to do this? Because I stuck my foot in my mouth.
At least they helped you out.
After about a 30-minute conversation, and that I wasn't some wacko.
Well, because I've also seen, because there's been
what's your purpose, sir?
There's been various kits and stuff for like doing so that they're trying to that they use to like print basic like hand replacements and whatnot that they're for delivery to third world countries and
this file right here, this 3D printed file is actually free online. There's a guy that owns the copyright, but he openly sources it to everybody.
Right.
Nobody can own it. So I'm going to promote the hell out of that because within a digit, you can pretty much cater this anyone you need to. And also, if anybody needs a finger, like me and some friends, we'll figure it out for you. Cool. But this is super. Again, I didn't think
because
I can do it with graphite, but
because I've seen the ones like I said where like the hand replacements and whatnot for people like kids that were live near in war zones and stuff, landmines and other whatnot, and
that is cool. That is really cool, Joe.
Hey, Pop's Attic. That's the same one from Instagram, right? That's Mark's dad, right?
Yes.
Why doesn't he ever jump on? I want to meet that dude. That dude likes everything I put on Instagram.
Right?
He's automatically my favorite dude. Like I like people that like me.
Gee, I'm not surprised.
That's why you don't like many people.
Right?
None of the people in my personal life know about my YouTube channel.
Really? You're a closeted YouTuber?
My mom doesn't know the name of it. Nobody knows.
I think all my subscribers are from my town, actually.
What is that? That's an up. What?
Yes, Jonathan. It's this Saturday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. I watch the promos. Good stuff.
Oh,
I'm going to have at least 2 more promos come out, I think.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
I
that
just
was
found
fun.
an upgrade. I just found an upgrade. Will I pull the trigger? This Mystery Space 53, which
Are
is
you on
the
eBay?
no,
Okay.
no.
Then pull the trigger.
You know what I want to do? I want to drive down to Georgia, Augusta. And believe it or not, I don't even want to talk to Mark. I just want to hang out with Pops, hang out in some old dive bar, throw darts, drink beer out of a can. He seems like a beer out of a can guy that I can respect. Right?
A beer out of can guy. I like.
I would wear a t-shirt for him. I'm just saying.
You would wear a T-shirt to that
I would wear a
endeavor.
t-shirt.
Okay. All right.
I like that dude.
Beer in can guy.
I like beer. You know, all of our microbreweries here in Virginia sell in cans. It's just cheaper and easier.
Yeah, I like cans over
Because I
bottles.
always need fresh aluminum to milk. So.
I've never. I mean, I understand. I've not really been. Well, I'm not a huge beer drinker anymore at all. But when I was, I always preferred it in glass over aluminum.
I like
With the
I like
exception,
cans.
with the exception of Coors. Coors I liked in a can.
Whereas that's just a thirst beer. That's basically
Yeah, well, if I was just drinking something to thirst, I was gonna drink Coors over Budweiser or Michelob. So
yeah. Now when I refuse to even feel like, oh, we have that in a bottle. Like I immediately get all French and snooty about it. I'm like, oh, no. Let the peasants eat cake. Please pour mine in a glass.
I did it in the pint.
I like cans.
Cans are just
Where
easier.
has this site been my whole life?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what site you're on.
I don't want to tell you.
I don't buy the same stuff as you, Rob.
I don't care.
He's gonna say it out loud. He knows I'm gonna snipe him.
Okay. I'm looking at the reflection, enhancing the
Just what he
reflection
has
off
on
your glasses.
right now on the wall there. I'm only.
Oh no, I got it. I got the screen share. I got the reflection off the glasses right there.
You got a better chance of getting it off the comic book behind me.
Okay, fair enough. Actually, yeah.
All right, Rob.
Yeah.
If you upgrade, then your upgrade. Then I can probably upgrade with what you're upgrading from.
Yeah, I have a 3.0 right now, and what's up here is a 4.0
That's
CGC.
not much of it. That's not worth a jump. Dude.
Well, but it's a reasonable price.
What's the price?
$220.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the first Adam Strange in that thing. At least on the gut feeling is that it is. I have to look. I haven't looked.
That for a CGC 4.0, that's probably right on.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about the comic community. You can regurgitate what like first appearance and what happens in the book.
Well,
like what significant thing happens.
I can't do it with just every book. But if it's a book that I'm interested in or that I have a higher chance of doing that.
I'm just saying, like all of this stuff, just
right. No, I mean, there's. Hey, I get it too. I have like my buddy Rob that was on this last week with Spider-Man, right? That dude, when I have conversation with him, he talks about writers and illustrators and inkers and all this. I mean, with intimate detail of every project they've ever been on and all this type of stuff. And he follows, these people based on what he doesn't care what the book they're doing. He just follows them. Whereas me, I go, I don't know who wrote or drew any of this unless I happen to know. But I was like, I follow the character. I don't follow the freaking person who's writing it. But then again, I understand, though, there are people who are about like Kyle, who's interested in stories. And so he would be more likely to follow a writer that he likes, much like he would go to the bookstore and get books by the author he's familiar with and knows and loves.
Absolutely.
So I get it. It's just not how I do it.
Correct.
And
yeah.
That's what's great about the comics is that
there we go.
Everybody can do it differently and there is no right or wrong.
Beautiful.
Oh, don't say you do it wrong. There's plenty of people who tell you do it wrong.
I've never had anybody tell me I did it wrong.
Oh, wow,
I bought
that's
20
a major
Turoks yesterday. Nobody said anything.
Here.
Jeez. All right. I'm gonna have to go.
Why? You got things going on?
Yeah, I got people knocking on the door.
Uh-oh.
They're not knocking.
Uh-oh.
Take it easy, boss.
See you later.
Kick off.
It is Scott. Sharon.
That's issue number 3.
Yeah. I mean, it's misstapled. You can see the staples are.
No, staples checked out. That's not from restoration, is it? That's legit.
They misstaple that shit all the time back then.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we did back in the day, but I also know restorers.
You'd have to look at it and see, but I mean that's in really good condition.
Can you zoom
Is
in the staple?
Is there a picture of the back? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a missed staple.
Yeah.
Either that or it was a good trim job,
Yeah.
because there's no overlap on that.
That is in great condition.
You getting it? You pulling the trigger on it?
I have to look and see. I might. Let's see here. I live my life by just because I think it's cool doesn't necessarily mean that I should spend that much money on it. I like
My
it.
guide puts it at 430 in a VF.
Yeah. It's hard, and this is from the age where it's hard to tell too sometimes because
Right.
recent sales are Spartan. Although there's a lot more of these on Census than you'd think.
I love House. House is all like, pew pew, put the trigger. You go Yosemite Sam on that shit.
Yeah, but so they have it listed at as a potentially 7.0, but I mean
What are they asking for it again?
almost 4.
You say almost.
Yeah, just under.
No, just under. Okay.
It's a little.
It's up there. Do you have one?
Do I have one? No,
You gonna get one?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
There's a
I have to balance my. I can't just buy everything.
Yes, you can. You're
No.
at the age where you can do whatever the fuck.
No, I'm at the age with about to have
Everybody's
2
the same.
college tuitions.
He's from a different time.
2 college tuitions,
So, no, you don't. You can tell them to pay for their own shit. I did that.
and I refuse to. Tap the equity in my house.
You know what?
That's-
College is overrated.
As a college dropout, I fully understand that, but
As a guy that literally went and started collecting
Oh.
degrees because he beat the system, I'm telling you, it's overrated.
what are they asking on that one,
My
Scott?
degrees.
430 buying now.
Wow.
But that one you showed, to me the pictures actually look better. I mean,
Right.
it just could be,
Where's
Because
the not on that one?
and yeah, missed staple on this one just the same.
Yeah. It's probably how they were doing it.
But yeah, I mean it's PGX, so you obviously
No, that's CBC.
no, that is CBCS. Yeah,
It's the old label.
Good one, Warrior. War Machine Maker Compliance. You got it. The whole slab won't pay for it.
No, it's actually been RSUs.
tell them to work their way through. Right, get a goddamn job.
I'm sorry. That's at an 8.0,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an 8.0.
and they want 430 for it. You probably make
$430.
them to drop $30 off of it, and yours is just under 4. Or did you say 3? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this one's $385.
I would make them an offer.
I might.
Yeah. If you don't, tell me where it's at. I'll make them an offer.
Now I could have fun just pressing that one to make it look better.
I'll insult the bastard and be like, I'll give you 150. Then you could swoop in with your high and outbid me. I'll do that for a friend.
Oh, this funny is actually that the one that I was looking at on the one site is on eBay too at the same price. I know it's got to be the same one because it says Aurora Pedigree on both listings.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a pedigreed book.
Yeah, that's what they're claiming, Aurora Pedigree.
I ignore pedigrees, and I tell dealers the same thing. I don't care about some other dude.
Exactly.
Graded by your standards, there's a price. I don't care about some guy I don't know. That's like saying if I go and get everything insured in mine and get a pedigree put on it, does that make the Pocan pedigree any better than anything else? If you say yes, sorry.
Pocan had it does make it better.
Although Pocan pedigree, I should get my shit insured. That sounds Pocan pedigree. The proper Pocan pedigree.
I would say the Pocan books would be worth more because they probably have glow powder on them.
Yeah, I love me some glow powder.
And you know that encapsulation ain't going to fucking fail.
Yeah. That and the fact that I bought it all with heroin. It's awesome.
It might be trace amounts.
Sure.
He's all, you think I don't use it all? Interesting.
Did you look to see if it had the pedigree mark, any of the pedigree marks on them?
I don't see anything on the picture. I don't know what what. Let me scroll back down.
So they're showing three different markings on those Aurora books. 3 possibilities.
What is? Oh, you make your screen big. Yeah, no, I don't. No, there's a completely different mark, like a freaking Nike swoop across the. Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, that's not. Well, at least that's not one CGC puts up as a pedigree mark, but
Yeah.
most copies exhibit a distributor code written in grease pencil on the front cover.
It looks like grease pencil written on the front cover, but that's just a.
Right.
Yep, we got one. Check.
Yeah, it's something like that. I mean, I like pedigrees. I think they're neat. But I definitely want to see the provenance on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were following my channel back when I sent in I've got some Mile High pedigrees, Edgar Church.
I have one Mile High pedigree in my collection.
So I had bought a long time ago. I bought 4 books on a heritage auction, and they were these Mile High pedigrees.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong one. So, and these 3 came slabbed, and the 4th book came raw. But I kept all the documentation from the auction, and I sent it into CGC with my original heritage receipt.
Yep.
And the original heritage, fortunately, archives everything. So I sent the link to the heritage auction where they had a high-res scan of the book showing the mark on it.
Yeah.
So they actually slabbed it and gave it a pedigree just with the documentation I was able to provide.
Nice.
And what's funny is it's the highest grade out of the 4 books, and it's the only one that came raw. And I didn't press it before I sent it in either.
Yeah, I do like those new labels for the pedigree.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
So these all could be pressed and get a higher grade, because even this one I didn't press before sending in. But it's that particular book, Hopalong Cassidy, it's worth more. The pedigree is worth more than an extra point on a grade bump.
Trevor, which one is my first?
But yeah, if they've got good provenance on that where you could actually get it slabbed with a pedigree, I would say it'd be worth it.
Yeah, that's the question, because I mean, it definitely. I agree with you. Looking at the 2 pictures, I mean, of course, pictures are always hard to compare,
Right?
A versus B, because there's lighting and contrast adjustments and all the other crap you can do to a book. But where I'm trying to find.
See you around, Pops. Good luck on the snipes. I know I didn't have very much luck the last couple of days, which is good for my wallet, but not good for my portfolio.
Where'd my book go that has my 3? Oh, there it is. My Batman 312 is a pedigree, my part of the Mile High pedigree, and it's a 9.8 book.
And it's
Batman 312, so it's not 1979 book.
It's a Mile High 2 pedigree,
Probably.
not the Edgar Church, which they don't even consider that a pedigree anymore.
Ah,
So you want to leave that one as is.
got it.
The Chuck had a deal with CGC, and so the story goes, where he got, I don't know the exact number, but yeah, I'm sure you heard the story of how he picked up the 3 million books from New York.
His YouTube video of the story, yeah.
And that's where that Mile High 2 pedigree comes from. He sent a bunch of those in and got them slabbed as a Mile High 2. But now they don't recognize it. So if you've got one, they won't put it in a new pedigree case.
Good to know.
Yep.
Hey.
So, and that's why they still started referring more heavily to the original Mile High as the Edgar Church.
Oh, wait, no, it's not Mile High. I'm sorry. It's Rocky Mountain pedigree.
Oh, okay, I'm not familiar with that one. Rocky Mountain. All right.
I think that's what it was, yeah.
Originally auctioned by Comic Link in 2008.
Yep, that's it.
Hey guys, I gotta go. You guys take it easy. Love
you, Joe.
Yep, see you, Joe.
Goodbye.
Yeah, CGC's pedigree section is actually kind of interesting. Just reading up on some of the different pedigrees. Like there's actually a couple that are multiple owner pedigrees, like father and son collection, or 2 brothers, that type thing. And there's only a couple of books or pedigrees that have books that go into the 70s or 80s.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at this right now, going back to that Mystery in Space, the one that's an 8.0 that you wouldn't be able to make an offer and get a deal. It's My Comic Shop that's selling it. They don't. It's a consigned stuff. They don't.
Yeah, they've got a book up that I'm interested in, but not at the price they want, and like you said, they really don't.
Yeah.
Don't deal.
Exactly.
Now, I haven't tried to bundle with them yet. A lot of the eBayers, if you say, they won't deal on one book, but if you say, I want these 10 books, what do you do?
Right.
They're a little more agreeable. So I don't know if My Comic Shop is.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's just one of those things that
never hurts to ask.
Right. And you know what? Sometimes on these things, I find it's best for me not to, when I get all excited about it, to just put it on watch and come back in a couple of days. And if it's still there and I still want it,
Yeah.
great.
Good
If it's
point.
gone, then well, it wasn't meant to be, or maybe I don't care as much because I've moved on to something else I'm interested in.
Yep.
One day
Good point.
when my kids are done with school, I'll be Scott. I want them all. Give me all.
The evil laugh. The Pocan Joe laugh.
Yeah, he does it better. He just needs to get evil mustache. All right, I think I'm going to head off too. I know it's getting late for you where you're at. You're probably going to head home at some point.
Yeah, it's almost 11. I've been dealing with renters tonight. I've got people moving out, so.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Yep.
Good talking
Thanks
to
for
you.
popping in.
Yep. All right. Hasta.
So, anybody else still around? Thanks for watching tonight. If you missed any of the books, catch them on the rewind.